Gonna be one heck of a battle. As Gibbs said, two very different roads for how to get here, and I'm glad we're at the end of it. We get to see how it all turns out.
Well, we will get into this grand finals here. A best of 7. Win this one, take home that title. Reynolds now through the air with Spacestation in the orange, set it up for his teammates, and the shot from Typical blocked by Justin. Can he get the pass to Arsenal there? They put it to the upper 9. It's just barely wide. Squishy now will look for the counterattack, flicks it over Reynolds and into the corner. Typical had rotated all the way back out. No catch control here as NRG tries to advance for their first offensive drive.
And we'll be very curious to see if Spacestation Gaming able to close the gap a lot more effectively than Envy did in that semifinal. I really thought NRG were going to be tested a little bit more, but hopefully Spacestation Gaming also don't find themselves locked on defense as they did yesterday in their series against G2.
All right, now we're seeing NRG having to play all the defense. Spacestation consistently regains control. No matter the flicks, Arsenal past one, Squishy now up, drops it into the midfield. Garrett tries to advance, but gets cut off by Typical, and now he's trying to cut him off some more. Garrett G will cut back in. The ball out to Squishy. Squishy doesn't make solid contact. Arsenal is able to put it back into the corner once more. Now Justin out of this corner. He gets it around Reynolds. No, Reynolds pinches it just enough off the wall to put it back in. Now Typical tries his hand at it. All three players from Spacestation hammering this corner. Reynolds with a miss in the air. This should give NRG a moment of control, but Squishy takes too long. Reynolds rotating back out will get the demolition. Spacestation stays on offense. Arsenal to the goal, and Garrett with the save.
And that was actually a massive Garrett G read on the defense coming off that backboard like that. Arsenal's got a couple different options for how he wants to put that ball in the back. So for Garrett G to be able to stay with the speed adjustment but can't follow the pass out of the corner, makes a great diving stop a few moments earlier, but this one sneaks by Justin because Arsenal missed the ball and then adapted to get behind it and pop it back out, and Garrett G just didn't see it coming.
It's much easier for the offense there to adapt to that miss than it is for the defense. The offensive player knows he's missed before the defender knows he's missed, so kind of the miss frees up the passing lane. Reynolds doesn't miss his shot. Spacestation's got an early lead. Here comes Garrett G now with a flick over one. Is Typical going to be able to reach this? No, but Justin and Garrett both missed. Squishy's too far upfield. Reynolds got an open net. Can he take the shot? There he goes. That one should be in, and that's 2 goals for Spacestation.
That was a disaster. Squishy's thinking Garrett G's going to leave it, and as soon as Garrett G goes up to try and catch that rebound, I mean, it's just dead because Squishy knows that if Garrett G tips it, we're done. Or if he hits it, it better be in, otherwise we're in trouble. And that one got away from Garrett. Squishy had already committed because he thought he had the easier play, and to be fair, he did. But unfortunately, trying to do a little bit too much, NRG concede a second one.
A double commit on offense for NRG. It's all to Justin here on the far side. Gets it past one player, and now looks to get it past 2, but Typical's able to put it into the midfield. Squishy now, 1v1 against Reynolds. Now turns it into a 1v2. Reynolds gets the job done as Justin and Typical butt heads on the side. Demo each other. Here comes Arsenal now into the midfield. Over the top of Justin. He takes that corner boost, bounces it off the wall. Typical shot just a bit wide. Squishy will take control on the corner. What was a great setup for Spacestation.
Yeah, and NRG definitely having a little bit of trouble following those passes out of the corner, trying to jam one through and give themselves plenty of time to work with to equalize, but so far NRG really been pushed back into their own half. A pretty big shot differential. Chance to put one away here with a demo. Squishy with a catch and drip, and Arsenal coming out of the corner.
My goodness. The fact that Squishy was able to get the pass, the demolition, and the shot all in the box there was pretty impressive stuff. And the luckiest of post bounces for NRG on what was inevitably going to be a 3-0 game if that ball was a pixel to the left. And here Justin out of this corner looking for the oblique angle. Arsenal's got the clear. In this game, by the time we finish talking about one shot or one save achieved, it's like 2 more have happened.
Yeah, it's definitely a quick transitions game here for game 1 is Garrett G and Justin trying to figure out how they want to approach this. And again, SSG looking to tighten this clamp on them.
Garrett, wild positioning. Perfect understanding of where that shot was going to be coming in. Keeps it at a 2-goal game, and here looks like maybe the best chance they've had in a while to get on the board. Justin up against Arsenal. Arsenal does just enough. Typical breaks it up in the midfield. Reddle's trying to get it past Squishy, and the ball goes neutral to the side. Garrett G trying to extend the play, gets demolished, and then a bump in the backfield. Typical should be able to put this one in for free, and does not. Garrett G on the respawn gets that one out. Now here comes for another goal. Squishy gets the block as Reddles couldn't find the demolition. Oh my goodness, 40 seconds left though. Space Station's got that 2-goal lead. That's all they need right now.
Not a good game one from NRG, especially combined with that. Squishy again having to make the reaction save. Earlier you had to dodge a demo, but I think you can write this one off from NRG's perspective. Just not able to get the offense started at all. It's a shot differential of 14-6 in favor of Space Station Gaming here for game one.
Oh, this could be a goal. If they could just get one in, there technically is a chance. But Reddle's going to try and hold on to this on the wall. Gets it past one, and we'll just air dribble it all the way to the other end, looking for that third goal. That would be the absolute nail in the coffin. At this point, the clock is going to decide the game. NRG gets shut out here in game number one, unless they manage to put one away in garbage time. Not going to happen. Space Station 2-0, game number one, and boy, did they have the shots.
So it looked to me like NRG had, I'll give them 3 quality chances on goal out of the 6 shots they took. And unfortunately, 2 of them were mis-executed, and the third one, Arsenal made a big save. So Space Station Gaming definitely 100% in the driving seat. Really not much too else to say about game one, other than the fact NRG really struggling to follow the ball out of the corner, as both goals were products of passing plays out of the corner from Space Station Gaming here in game one. You see this first one from Arsenal, like you said, hard to adapt from the defense, and then this one just the put away pass that got through the defense in the midfield line.
Yeah, Arsenal key here on the passing game. Reddles put away both the goals, but man, NRG 9 saves they had to put up in a losing effort. They weren't able to get the few times they did get onto offense where they ran into a stalwart Space Station defense here. And NRG's defense, it was like, man, that was impressive how few goals went in, given how absolutely strapped down they were on the goal line. Squishy and Garrett in particular putting up 4 saves apiece. It was impressive to watch, but if you can't back it up with some sort of firepower on the other end, it's not going to matter.
And definitely going to need some time to adjust as well. NRG, like you said during the interview, I think you asked the question, what do you guys do in between? They're like, we just hang out, discuss the games. And so currently, they might have been wishing to get a few reps in.
It was Gibbs asked the question. To quote Garrett G, he said, be bored. We just sit around and be bored. So, but hey, you know, when you're as good as these guys, I'm not going to question their in-between game tactics. Garrett takes this to the corner. Arsenal with a nice flick over Justin. Squishy's up to read it. Now onto the backboard, it's going to be played by an SSG player. Reddles gets it away and gets it through 2 now. Going to be challenged by Garrett G next. Rolls it past him. Squishy will try to move in and close it with Justin, but Reddles just absolutely dismantling everything here. Can Arsenal double tap this? He's got so much boost. He'll look for the triple. No, Garrett G. The triple was just one too many touches. Garrett was able to get up and read it.
Real nice composure, and Garrett G with a big adjustment. Squishy into the middle and denied. 2 players from Space Station combined. They punch the ball out to safety.
And it lands on Reddles' hood. He's so good, and now without a boost, he was actually lined up for the double tap there, but not going to be able to reach the ball. Squishy takes another shot. Typical pushes it to the corner here. He's going to have to get a second block here, as he doesn't actually. So Reddles and Arsenal roll into goal behind him. They'll be just fine. So the first minute comes and goes. Neither team on the board, but exciting play nonetheless. Reddles into this corner. Squishy now onto this back. We're trying to set up one more shooting opportunity. NRG still yet to score.
And the big key to success for NRG's win in their previous series was Justin's challenge capability and winning a lot of balls just straight through defenders, and much less success here in this series versus Space Station. So see who can step up. Perhaps Squishy's had a couple of good looks on goal and opportunities. Passed to Typical and denied from Justin on the goal line.
Arsenal there had the pass. That was brilliant setup, brilliant play. Well defended by NRG. Now Typical into the box. Squishy bounces it over 1. Justin rolls it high. Typical now up in this corner, being challenged by multiple NRG players as they just try to slowly punch this one into the SSG third. Garrett G through the air. He's going to look for this dump. Finds it onto the backboard. There's not going to be much of a shot here, but brilliant play in the midfield, and they'll try to turn it into an extended offensive stay. Excellent pass over from Justin, and we saw Squishy there try to get it back to Justin into the corner, but broken up just enough. Now he's got so much time in space. Was that 4 touches?
Let's go back and count them. Hang on. This one goes up. He just picks up the 100 boost. 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4. You got it. Good eyes, Wave Punk.
Oh my goodness! It was as he went into the air. I was like, okay, he's not gonna be able to do much with this. And then I noticed he had a full tank of boost, and I was like, oh no, he's got him this time.
Yeah, it really was the perfect spawn timing for that boost as well. It wasn't there, and he was camped out on it, and right before he jumped, it appeared.
What was this? Okay, well that works out. NRG goes from not having scored anything in 7 minutes to scoring 2 goals back-to-back on just a wonderful hodgepodge in midfield.
Yeah, if you're Reddles there, you're like, why is Squishy Muffins descending from the ceiling to randomly smash the ball into the ground for an open goal? That's what's running through the Space Station gaming minds right now.
It was weird. Garrett got a block and then sort of changed the trajectory, so Squishy all of a sudden was completely airballed. But then, lo and behold, Squishy falls perfectly.
Calculated.
Get that ball over to Justin. Yes, you know they did that on purpose. They had their trigonometry.
Drew that one up.
It's Justin out to Squishy now. Tries to give it to Garrett G. 3 touches from NRG, and they barely get it in front of their box. But Justin with lots of space will not take to the air. Gets challenged by Arsenal. Typical. Underneath Garrett G. Man, the 50-50 game from Space Station has been so strong. You brought it up earlier. Justin being able to win those challenges through defenders was a huge part of how they got those incredible wins earlier in the day. So far, the 1v1 game's been more or less in Space Station's favor this entire series. As Garrett looks for the pass to Squishy, blocked by Typical. Arsenal quickly turning this. This is all 3 players from Space Station quickly bunched up on top of each other. That's
they get him.
Going to beat one. Can Justin hold on to this enough as Typical tries to rotate back in net? What a challenge from Typical to get it away. 1:35 left in game 2. NRG's holding on to a 2-goal lead.
And you can constantly see the gears turning in the minds of NRG whenever they get passes or chances to score goals coming at them, because Space Station Gaming really is doing a great job of keeping track of where everyone on the pitch is and who can do what in regards to positioning. And they're really making NRG think about how they're going to get this ball by him.
Goes with the challenge. Both he and Typical out. Garrett G now in the corner. Going to be pushed on by Reddles. Justin pushes it to the backboard once more. Now Reddles back to midfield. 1 minute left. Space Station yet to get on the board here in game 2. Reddles looks for goalies, doesn't find anybody. Garrett in front of the box will get a challenge. Space Station, the clock is ticking. They have to find this goal in the next 30 seconds or so. Typical pass to 1. Can he find a way just to finesse this one in? It bounces on the goal line. Justin doesn't have much speed on this, and Garrett G's not going to be able to clear this heavily because the ball's moving too slowly.
No.
Reddles over the top of 1 is Typical around in time.
Oh, no.
Space, and still gets dunked by Squishy? What are you talking about? He gets a goal out of that? Okay.
He had 0 boost. He missed the ball, and he's just falling. And Typical either going for the pass or trying to blast one into the top right-hand corner. Either way, puts it squarely on the nose of Squishy Muffins, who, not for the first time this game, has the ball just punched right into him and turned it into a goal.
This one, though, significantly more telegraphed. I think Space Station maybe big-brained themselves there. They're like, sure, no, he's got some trick up his sleeve. Just shoot it straight at him. We'll get this. Nope. He wasn't doing anything of the sort. 10 seconds left, 3-0. NRG immediately bounced back after game number 1. We've seen back-to-back counteracting shutouts here.
Yeah, rough game 2 here from Space Station. Arsenal, last chance, not able to get the dunk. But to me, the big difference here in game 2, I think it was actually Squishy. Obviously, 1 for the 2-goal swings that he provided, but 2, just the ability to put the pressure on the defense and get those balls into positions where his team was able to really slow down pace of play and try and command the ball a little bit more really helped NRG, because going for those challenge games, I mean, Arsenal was all over the pitch in that first game in terms of stopping possession for NRG. So NRG really being able to slow things down here, I think, helped a lot.
They did slow things down there. Garrett G opening up a donut shop. First time I've said that sentence in I don't know how long here. Didn't get his goal, assist, save, or shot that game. But didn't really need to. Honestly, like you said, like this game was defined by the calculated plays from the team here. Squishy kind of just being in spots Space Station wasn't ready for, even in moments when maybe they should have been a little bit more ready for him to be there. Justin as well. That quadruple touch goal to kind of open things up here. We talked about multiple times that we need to see Justin really step up, strap this team on his back when he's popping off, when he's got those clutch plays. NRG looks deadly. That was a great way to get that started for them.
Yeah, definitely a great game 2 from NRG. You're definitely looking for some watch, rinse, repeat as well. And whenever you can get Justin the ball with a little bit of space, good things can happen. So NRG and SSG, I think they've both had, 5 minutes to themselves to really figure out what's going on here. And I think Game 3 is really where you start to see the series kick up into another gear.
Now we're basically back down to best of 5. So, I'll keep on doing that as we go through it. I'm going to give you guys the updates on best of 3 and best of 1 as well. It's lots of fun. Here comes
Appreciate
Reynolds,
it.
just in case. We've got Garrett G in this corner, trying to get it past Typical. Not there. There's Reynolds with the drop shot. Justin gets it off the backboard and away. Now up against Arsenal. Justin's going to airball this one. Arsenal trying to get past 2. Still a little bit dangerous. Garrett G will be able to get a second touch onto it. Get it away. Typical going to try and come off this backboard. Not going to make the play happen. And Justin already is supersonic. And they won't be able to catch him on the demos from behind. He'll have a free race down the field. Garrett G not going to get a touch onto that one, though. Squishing out in this corner up against Arsenal back in front of the goal. No one there from Space Station, and Justin will have a nice long clear. NRG going to try and score.
NRG playing a dangerous game, going with that long, clear game. Garrett G looking for maybe himself, but Arsenal has just enough in the tank to make sure the ball gets to safety. NRG going to have to reset here, but they're going real hard at these challenges at the midfield line.
Garrett G. Back through. Here's Arsenal off that backboard. Squishy with a miss. Well, he got just enough of it to put it onto the backboard once more. NRG doing a good job keeping this ball deep in enemy territory. Space Station struggling to find meaningful clears. There's Garrett G with another win. Reynolds puts it off to the side, but he's going to need some help from the rest of his team. The rest of NRG falling back. Finally low enough on boost, have to rotate out. But look at that. Just like this, Squishy all by himself back down into the box once more, trying to box out one player on the wall. Garrett G will try and challenge as well. Now Justin will look for a pass. Is Squishy going to get set up in time? His typical almost gets bumped in net. Manages to hold his ground against Garrett G. Into the corner, Garrett G with a stop on 1. Challenged by 2. Gets it onto the backboard. Here's Arsenal. High needs some teammates to help him. The drop blocked by Justin.
And some adjustments coming through from Space Station Gaming. And there's the lift off for Arsenal, and he will indeed hop up there and tip that one down home.
Squishy trying to dribble it out, gets pinched off. Reynolds is able to give it to Arsenal. Arsenal to Reynolds, and then back to Arsenal again. The 1-2-1 to put Space Station on the board. We've seen alternating shutouts here so far. We have yet to see both teams score in the game. This is easily the latest goal we've seen so far in the series. Both teams starting to really settle into this difficult game.
I really like how Arsenal has been the guy to always have the ball put in his possession here. As things actually will take a pause here, and we'll figure out what that's all about. But as I was about to say, really enjoying Space Station Gaming. I like how they're getting the ball into the hands of Arsenal, because I think he's definitely been the most effective in terms of setting up chances for Space Station Gaming throughout the series, digging the ball out of the corner and really putting the pressure on NRG whenever they get them pushed back onto their own defensive half.
Yeah, I've loved seeing this one go back and forth between the two teams. I'm excited to see both teams manage to put together this strong offensive showing at the same time. We've seen them kind of get trapped into a loop. Right now, we've seen NRG pushing up into SSG's half over and over again, managing to keep the ball there. And the question comes down, why is Space Station struggling to find clears? It could be a matter of boost. And then once we see NRG finally kind of losing control of the boost game, having to fall back into their half, we're seeing NRG move out. But we had a player disconnect, apparently. That is, so we're going to let them figure out that stuff on the back end. We'll be back in the gameplay shortly here at Chiefs. But yeah, these are definitely the two teams that need to be playing in the finals today.
I think it's the two teams that everybody also wanted to see, right? Because everyone, I think, for the longest time has been big fans of NRG. And of course, to see them make a big roster swap, losing Turbo Pulsa. And you're always curious how that team shows up. So you've kind of got that mix of old fan favorite versus the hot new kids on the block who are just absolutely going through a tear. And I think today they've absolutely both been the best two teams, and it's good to see them both make the grand finals. But we will be getting back into the game here shortly. It's game 3, currently NRG 1-0 up at 2 minutes 35 on the clock. So we'll get started back up, and we'll see who can continue on this one, as apparently I believe it's SSG just waiting to make sure that everything is all spick and span before they get going.
We want to maintain a competitive environment, and you know it's always crazy the way that this year has changed everything. Everything has to be online right now, but it's a crazy concept in esports, right? that the virtual reality that we compete within can just spontaneously cease to exist sometimes. But yeah, it's fine right now. So we'll keep going. They'll restart on the kickoff. Here we get back into game 3. Spacestation starting on an offensive. Arsenal gets flicked. Reddles actually kind of passes here. Justin's going to try and reach this one. Gets it off the backboard. Is anyone home? No. Squishy kind of bailed on this. They could have easily gotten 2 shots out of that. And they were just certain that SSG defense would be back around in time. Squishy will look for a pass.
They really did dodge a bullet there, too, with Reynolds just a massive mistouch there on that ball. Spacestation Gaming thanking their lucky stars that ball didn't go into the back and find themselves tied at 1.
Same Spacestation pressure. 1:51 left to go. Holding on to the lead in this game. Reynolds and Arsenal. The back cross pads. Squishy gets it off the ceiling. Arsenal will clear from the backboard to midfield. Now Garrett up for it. His touch goes into his own half, and Justin's going to have to clean this one up. Takes it off the bounce. Loses a lot of velocity. Ball will just be locked in the midfield. Squishy given tons of space. Takes it to the corner, and Arsenal's got a block on what was already a wide shot. Justin will just try to break things up. Garrett G, though, was not reading that breakup touch, and NRG kind of caught here in the midfield. We're going to see Spacestation now advance and try to get some scoring opportunities.
And again, you're seeing Arsenal work some magic there in the midfield line whenever those challenges tend to go in his favor so far. And I'm curious to see if he's able to keep up that success here. As him and Sipical miscommunicate, they give up the ball for free to NRG. Justin, little delay, and ball for Squishy. Tough read off the ceiling, and Justin trying to go for a big dunk in the middle of the box.
Man, imagine if Justin hits that. The fact that he was up for it is crazy. Squishy now looking for a dunk on Arsenal. Still in the box, but cleared by Reynolds. We'll see Garrett G get over the edge. Reynolds no contact. Justin will take it away from Arsenal as he moved up from the backfield. Now Reynolds airborne. Over the top of Squishy. 37 seconds left. Spacestation with the only goal of the game. Things hold, they'll take a 1-game lead in the series. Justin down. Arsenal looking for the bump on Squishy, finds him. Garrett G comes in to clean it up, and Reynolds should be able to push this one to safety. 20 seconds left. Only the 1-goal game, though. We can play this here a second time. Oh, the pinch off the crossbar. Squishy's follow-up's not good. Garrett gets blocked in front of the net. Spacestation defense holds in the final moments.
Big saves, but they're not done. Last chance here for NRG.
Squishy trying to get over the top of Sipical, shuts him down. He's going to try and hold this ball in the midfield. Plays keep away well. Clock is at 0. Squishy's going to have to play perfect. Looks for the pass to Justin. Reynolds is up for it. Off the backboard. Where's Garrett? Oh, he's too far back, and that'll go into an empty corner. They might even score off the road. Nah, Spacestation just takes the win. 1-0. The 1 is good, and they take the lead in the series.
And they got the full rotation. They got every single barrel that NRG could fire there at the end. They went for it. And a real valiant effort. And again, a good offensive performance from NRG. That's what, 9 plus 4 is 13. So 13 shots to only 3 for Spacestation Gaming. But it turns out a 1 in the score columns, all you need. Spacestation able to squeeze by there with a win.
Man, you want to talk about a terrifying save to have to make, though. Pinching it off the crossbar. The ball's already halfway in the goal, or barely just not halfway in the goal for the physics of that to work out. And man, that was how close it was. So, like, just absolute pixels determining whether we'd be in overtime right now or going into game 4.
It's a tight game 4, and we are just going to get a new server, make sure everything's all good. As you said earlier, we do like competitive integrity and making sure everyone's on an even playing field. Not an evil playing field. That would be terrifying. So,
what would that even look like?
The haunted, yeah, old wasteland, like, or the Halloween map, the haunted farmstead that we had.
Oh yes. What? Moving into game again. This is so interesting to me when this sort of thing happens here at Chiefs. We still have yet to see both teams score in one game.
I mean, to be fair, I really think NRG could have got away with 2 goals there if not for some absolute defensive heroics coming out of Spacestation Gaming. But it really does seem like they're both kind of taking turns. NRG have had a couple of good swings there in games 2 and 3 in terms of where the pressure's going. So I think both teams are good and made sure that the next server is ready. So we'll see if Spacestation Gaming can answer back and start putting a little bit more pressure on them. Like I said, I think Arsenal's been having a lot of good success in the challenge game. So looking for him to open the door a little bit more for Spacestation Gaming, because NRG really starting to get their fingers stuck in here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, but I mean, and Space Station did manage to just hold on enough on the defense. They won that game with defense in game 3.
And we said that yesterday when they played G2 as well.
We did. Like the defense, my goodness, from Space Station has just been beautiful to watch. It's fun. It's fun to see a team actually win games based off of the play in their own box. Just get down, get whatever poo goal you need, and then just hunker down. Just turtle it up. But I would speculate. I encourage viewers at home to watch the play in the midfield. Watch for who controls the midfield boosts. Because when you get extended sieges, oftentimes that controlling that midfield resource is a big part of why that happens. I'm going to be paying attention to it too here and see if maybe that's the answer to why we're just seeing like alternating shutouts here throughout this series. Reynolds the attempt to Garrett G off the backboard. 2 defenders miss. Squishy just sends it downtown, but just slow enough for Reynolds to move in and get the save. Man, I will say NRG has had a few just lookers where they're like, it's just, man, just put it in. And it's just been just slow enough for the defense to get back in front of it.
It's been tough. They're really trying to make sure that they put the ball in a good spot. Garrett G trying to force the issue here out of the corner. And Typical with 2 big challenges.
Justin here also switching to Dominus. Mid-series car change.
I wonder why, because I really felt like the Dominus was really helping in terms of there is one big tangible benefit that Dominus has, or the Octane has over the Dominus. It really is quite good at challenging the ball off the sidewall because that extra height on the hitbox makes it a little easier. And I feel like with the challenge game being as important as it is, I'm surprised to see him take a longer car.
I think it is probably just the mojo.
You know, that's fair.
Maybe
that's fair.
Less of a tactical decision and more of just a superstition. And hey, I've been there. Had it work for me. Justin gets a block in midfield. 3:20 on the clock here in game number 4. Right now, Space Station with the lead in the series. A win here will give the match point.
There you go.
That's Justin using that long car to get the first goal.
This one got a little bit squirrely here out of the corner for Space Station. He didn't quite read the bounce, had to make the adjustment, and he thought Squishy was going to tip that ball, and as soon as it just went back out into the middle, Justin was right there to jump on it. So Space Station Gaming, yeah, what an angle is right.
Like, I watched it on the replay, and I'm like, he doesn't score this. I know he scored it, but I'm still like, no, there's just no, that touch is not going in. He's going to look for a second one. Maybe hovered in the air. Over the top of one player, but Reynolds, excellent positioning here. The third man always covering up. Squishy now up for it. Onto the backboard. Justin to extend down the midfield. Typical and Arsenal on the retreat. We'll get first touch. Lofted straight back. Squishy and Justin double commit out and burn a lot of boost getting up to that ball. And then Justin and Garrett bump into each other. It's all up to Squishy here. Flip reset from Arsenal. Blocked by Squishy. And now back into the box. A second
Bang.
shot. And Garrett's just sitting there. What happened?
Hello, Typical. So Garrett G rotates in, jumps early, and then he's just looking because he was trying to defend that first shot that came toward the goal and Keisu was doing the top left. And as soon as he reset, he was just thinking, if it's behind me, I'm dead. And it was indeed behind him. Typical with a strike.
Justin also bumped in front of his box. Left nobody in a position to do anything about that shot.
Oh, it's in.
Finally, this kid, man, NRG got a great lead from that first goal from Justin, and then immediately it's taken away by Space Station.
Arsenal, a great dismount from his own corner, and how about the air dribble into the pinch off the corner?
I remember scoring those goals in silver. How do you not have someone that can stop that? That's what a crazy circumstance. Squishy now onto the backboard here. Take it over the top of one. Now there's 4 players committed, I believe. Here comes Garrett G onto the backboard and puts it right on the Typical's hood, but he'll chase this one down himself. Taken away by Reynolds, and now back down the field. Onto the backboard for the double tap. Squishy reads it, blocks it at the point of contact. Now Garrett G up against Arsenal. That's Reynolds bopped into the enemy corner. He's going to be late on the rotation in, but the pass over to Squishy is wide and behind him. Half rotate back in to take control. Now through the ceiling, gets it onto the backboard for free, but Typical gets up before any shooter from NRG could read the pass.
Yeah, Justin didn't really want to commit just in case there was a defender going there. Sure, he could have beat him, but I think he just felt that the chance of scoring it or having the play work out better than if he just waited for the clear just wasn't worth it. So they end up giving possession. They buy a little extra time. Typical delays it off the wall, and Arsenal just a little bit too tight, couldn't keep the momentum up, so he had to hit the brakes to make sure he didn't overshoot the ball, and that means he got beat to it on the bounce.
It's a tantalizing position to be in for Typical. It looks so close, but there's just no way to turn that angle in. He needed the backup to be right behind him. And instead, NRG defense intercepted it. Got it back away. Finally, for the first time, it seems, we do have both teams on the board. As the pass comes in, can they tie it up? Guarantee off the defender, puts it in. What an infield pass.
Uncontested out of the corner. They tip it out there to buy some extra time, and Justin just picks a spot. Here you go, Garrett. Good luck, Arsenal. Off the wheels and into the goal. So close for Space Station.
108. Tie game. NRG looking to bring the series back to even at 2 games apiece. Force us to at least game 6. On the edge now. Justin out of his own corner. Lots of time and space, uses it all. Reynolds is able to intercept the pass to Garrett G in the midfield. Here's Typical and Squishy with a block on the offensive drive. 43 seconds left. We've got Squishy. Nice flick over one. Typical and Arsenal kind of on top of each other. They might double commit here. A little bit of one. Typical does ground back in time, but Justin now with a pass to Garrett G. Infield once more, and Arsenal is able to weave through the traffic, pick up ball control, flick it over one. Squishy will try and stall it out, but can he hold on? Sure can. Picks it back up. He's got Justin on the flank. Going to try and push this through, but Justin reading Typical's position. He'll pick it up. Now Reynolds. What a dunk. Back into the corner. 18 seconds left. Tie game. Looking for the infield pass. It's just wide. Justin kind of gives it back to Arsenal, and they'll look to keep pushing this one in the final 10 seconds. Now Arsenal rotates out. Gives it to Typical. Squishy over the top of him. Arsenal looking for a pass to Reynolds, but it's too hard. Justin off the wall. Is Garrett G there? Squishy takes the shot himself. It's blocked by 2 players. That should be enough to get us to overtime, and it is overtime in game 4.
That was a tight one both ways. Almost a must-win game if you're on Space Station. You really want to feel like you've got a good handle on the series. Otherwise, who knows what happens in the next couple. And NRG putting the pressure on them. It's over their head, though, and it goes in off of basically the kickoff. Squishy gets beat. Justin wins, but Typical's just camped on the wall. And Squishy just trying to rotate back, just never really got set. And that is a disastrous way to lose that one.
That is a classic. We take those. Space Station. Happy. Thank you very much. Match point. Don't mind if I do. You guys gonna be positioned that poorly. We'll do it. We'll take those shots every time.
I said it feels like a must-win for them, and they really didn't have to work too hard, did they? Because now you got 3 chances to put NRG away, and that really is a big collapse there at the start. It's always so interesting to watch how kickoffs break down at a professional level, especially with NRG in such good command, it felt like, throughout that one. And honestly, a couple of those goals, like that Arsenal pinch off the side, I mean, how does that one find its way into the back? As you said, very much a will take those from Space Station here in Game 4 as Garrett G side flips. I wonder if Garrett tipped Squishy there. Either way, that last goal just hurt to watch.
Well, we'll be going into Game 5 with Space Station on match point. You heard it from Gibbs earlier. He's excited. He wants this team to finally get that big win, and this would be a great statement to make. First regional event of RLCS X. Reynolds playing with so many rosters over the course of the offseason finally settles on this team. They have come out of the gates hot. If they can finish this one off here, get that big point swing, that big advantage going into the major, I feel like this is such a huge opportunity for them. You don't want them to miss this.
And it really would be such a great cap-off for them as well, considering just the absolutely dominating run that they've had in the grid. I mean, they've been crushing people left, right, and center. So for them to come out here and crush the regional as well, like you said, it really would send an incredibly strong message here for the teams in the North American RLCS.
Oh, Justin harassing the goalie, but Reynolds covers it up from the wall. Space Station's rotation is just immaculate here as Reynolds looks for a double tap on the far side, sets it up for Typical. Defense just holds strong for NRG. Arsenal through one. Justin, was that over the top? Justin again on mid-series car switch, this time to the Fennec. Just keeping himself on his toes. Reynolds now onto the backboard. Squishy to the side. Justin pushes it oblong down. That catches Typical high in the air. The ball will do more bouncing off the floor and ceiling than anything else right now. Typical's going to try and just straight up misses. I think he was maybe looking for a pass there knowing he didn't have much of a shot.
So I think he was actually trying to jump onto the wall, then jump off and get back in front of the ball to just tap it in before the defense made it back. Unfortunately, NRG too quick to retreat. And you alluded to it last game. Whoever's winning that midfield battle definitely holds the pressure. And here in Game 5, that has 100% been SSG. I don't think I've seen NRG grab a midfield boost yet.
Here's Justin, no boost in the tank, fake on one, tries to get the flick on the other. Here's a shot from Garrett G. Arsenal blocks it and sends it to the corner. Squishy with a follow-up, excellent placement. All three defenders fight, but Reynolds does get the save. Could Justin turn this one around in time? Into the corner, pass two, Sipical's challenge is good, and it's back away for the moment. Garrett G lofting it in front of the goal. Sipical blocks it before Squishy can take a shot. Bounces off the wall, here's Justin once more. Excellent placement, and NRG's on the board.
Talk about going and getting one, and to cap it all off, he just tattoos this at the goal. I mean, that was such a laser quick read and a bullet of a shot. That's a go get him move if you've ever seen one from Justin.
75 miles an hour, 121 kilometers per hour on that shot. Absolute laser. NRG scores a flashy one here. They're all worth the same amount. They're going to have to hold on to this lead. Probably, honestly, Achieves, they're going to need to extend this lead if they want to win Game 5.
Rarely is one goal enough at the professional level, especially against a team like SSG. So definitely agree. Definitely looking to expand.
Here's Reynolds. Challenged by Justin. Sipical ultimately will get the flick on Justin.
That midfield game started to even out a little bit here as the game has progressed. NRG starting to work more of a foothold. That's a big block, though, to earn some space. Put the pressure on Garrett G and turn it into a goal. Spacestation Gaming.
Look at Reynolds here. Over the top of Justin. Got one touch, got the block, zones out Garrett, gives Arsenal the entire net to shoot at. Tie game.
And that's great execution from both Arsenal and Reynolds. Reynolds, he doesn't even cut into the goal. He just knows that as long as Garrett G is stuck back there, Arsenal has a shooting window, and he did not miss it. And that one slips through, but it will be turned aside.
That is going to be the classic definition of zoning. Just your presence is enough to get the job done here. And Reynolds,
you own the space. They don't.
Yeah. Reynolds such a threat on the demo game. You have to respect him. They push this back out. 2:15 on the clock, and it's tied up. Spacestation trying to win this game right now, win the series right now, and be our first regional champs in North America. Typical. In the corner, just harassing, maybe looking for that boost.
A little bit of both, hoping that it spawned, put the pressure on the defense, make a move and adjust to the challenge, and there's another bump attempt on goal from Reynolds off the ball. Squishy able to dodge it, and NRG will worm their way out.
Reynolds out to the edge. He's got a teammate coming up on this wall with him. Justin still wins it back into the midfield. Arsenal to the side. Into this corner, difficult read. Sipical still manages to get his bumper onto it. Squishy just takes the shot from midfield, and Arsenal sees that. It's like trying to throw out a runner, like as a pitcher, just like you're not willing to throw it across the plate. Like trying to pick. I feel like that's what like taking shots from the midfield's like.
Oh yeah, just
were you
catch him sleeping.
Yep. Were you paying attention? You were. Okay, just making sure.
They actually almost did catch Reynolds leaning a little too far forward. He started moving up because they thought they were going to win the ball, and thankfully Arsenal was rotating back.
Garrett G nearly gets the dribble down. There's a demolition onto one player. Squishy's going to take just a little bit too long, though, to gain control of that ball and push it towards the net. The defense holds on. 59 seconds left, and here comes Spacestation, bumping into each other in enemy territory. Garrett G over the top of one. Justin and Squishy going to try and tag team this one against a retreating defense. Justin into the box, but the bounce is too much. Typical excellent read. Gets in the way of Squishy, and now Reynolds back on the other counterattack. Here he comes. Traps that one beautifully. Justin takes it off of his hood. Garrett G gets a demolition onto one. Reynolds with the pass back to Typical. He's got lots of space, but there's not really a good shot in front of him here. And now, can he find Arsenal? He has no boost. He's actually just buying time on the wall. And Garrett G finally gets that read. There's off the backboard. Justin's shot is good. Arsenal's block is better. Back away. Counterattack over Squishy. Garrett's got to play perfect here.
And boy, does he. He's very fortunate that Arsenal couldn't get another touch on that. And NRG looking to squeeze a little bit tighter here on Space Station because they know they're so close to cracking them.
Justin high. Squishy with a bump on one. It's all up to Reynolds. He gets it out to Arsenal. Extends it down the pitch. This one should hit the ground. And we'll go to overtime in Game 5. 2 OTs in a row. Space Station won the last one on a collapse from NRG. Can they play better this time and keep their tournament hopes alive?
Oh, yes, they can. That's a much better kickoff. Garrett G with 2 big blocks.
There's Squishy. Arsenal and Reynolds.
One.
On the side.
Demo.
There's a demolition!
Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness, and Space Station take the first regional event for North America.
Well, you said it before. Garrett G's got to be perfect. And talk about zoning. He knew as soon as he saw that ball bounce, he goes, oh, that's going to roll right back out. It's not going to roll up the wall. He tried to cut in towards the goal to give himself a chance to make the save. But Reddles also made the same read, said, nope, you are trapped, my friend, and you better get off my pitch because we own it.
Is there anything more Reddles than winning like that? I'm going to fly down the field, get myself a setup, blow up the goalie. Arsenal can just roll the ball towards the goal. Does not matter. Like, so easy, so simple. And my goodness, Arsenal scores the 2 goals that matter in this game. The pretty goal from Justin. It's not going to matter.
And again, really the defense from Space Station Gaming propelling them to another big victory over a top team in North America. Spent a lot of time on defense in those final few games, but always coming through, always making big diving stops coming across the corner, and that is not something that you can forget. Yes, they own a lot of space and they make pretty goals, but it's the defense, I think, that really got them all the way to this regional win here.
Absolutely. 9 shots from NRG, 8 saves from Space Station. Defense from Space Station, so strong. Beautiful stuff. And my goodness, this was a wonderful day of playoffs. We got some great Rocket League today, Chiefs.
We really did. I honestly don't think we ever do. We ever have a bad day of Rocket League? I don't think so. And the best part is that there's more. There's what did Gibbs say? There's 10 months of Rocket League. So yeah, we got a bunch more good Rocket League coming up.
There's not really such thing as a bad day of Rocket League. It was a lot of fun. It was fun coming to you guys from 16-bit land over here. Not sure why that's happening, but appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Now, let's go back to the desk and let Gibbs break down what this win means for Space Station.